Hello students, let us study the colligative properties. So this colligative properties belongs to the topic of solutions chapter colligative properties. So what are these colligative properties? So colligative properties are nothing but the properties of dilute solutions. That means these type of properties are applicable only for the dilute solutions but not for the concentrated solutions. What are dilute solutions? Solutions in which small amount of solute is dissolved in large quantity of solvent can be taken as a dilute solution. So for that kind of solution, some properties are applicable. So those properties can be taken as colligative properties. So why those properties are called the colligative properties? Because the properties of dilute solutions, which depends only on the number of solute particles, depends on number of solute particles and not on the nature of solute particles. So it depends only on the number of solute particles but not on the nature of the particles. So such kind of properties of dilute solutions can be taken as the colligative properties. So what are the different colligative properties that we are going to study? The first colligative property is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is one of the colligative property. The second colligative property is elevation. Elevation means increase in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point is second colligative property. The third one is depression. Depression in freezing point. So depression means decrease in the freezing point. And the fourth one is osmotic pressure. So all these are four properties of dilute solutions can be taken as the colligative properties. So what are colligative properties? Properties of dilute solutions which depends only on the number of solute particles but not on the nature of the particles are called colligative properties. So there were four different colligative properties. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. The second one is elevation in boiling point. The third one is depression in freezing point. And the fourth one is osmotic pressure. Now we will study the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So how can we define this relative lowering of vapor pressure? So before going to this relative lowering of vapor pressure, we will consider a container containing the solvent like water. So water is a solvent that we know. So we'll consider a solvent in a container. So this is nothing but the surface of the liquid. Above the surface of this liquid, there is a presence of its own vapor. So we have taken water as a solvent. Above the surface of this liquid water, there is a presence of water vapor. That means water exists in the gaseous state is present above the surface of this water. So we have considered one of the solvent in a container, that is water. Above the surface of this water, water is having some surface. Above the surface of this water, there is a presence of this water in the form of vapor above this surface. So here the liquid particles will move from liquid into the vapor state. At the same time, so whatever the number of particles will move from liquid into vapor state, so the vapors particles present in the vapor state will move into the liquid state. The number of particles move from liquid into vapor state will be equal to the number of particles moving from vapor into liquid. That means equilibrium will exist between the liquid and its own vapor. So here there is a presence of vapor above the surface of this liquid. So this vapor will exert some pressure. So this pressure can be taken as vapor pressure. So how can we define this vapor pressure? The pressure of the vapor pressure of the vapor which is in equilibrium with the liquid. So this is liquid and this is vapor. So this vapor will exert some pressure called vapor pressure. So how can we define this vapor pressure? Vapor pressure can be defined as the pressure of the vapor which is in equilibrium with the liquid is called vapor pressure of the liquid. So vapor pressure of the liquid, it gets affected by the addition of solute. So this solute we should take is a non-volatile solute. So we will consider a non-volatile solute and we will add that non-volatile solute into this solvent or the liquid water. So what happens to the vapor pressure? So by the addition of non-volatile solute into the solvent, the vapor pressure of the liquid gets reduced. So if we add solute into the solvent, we are going to get a solution. The solution is having some vapor pressure which is less than that of the pure liquid. That means solvent is having more vapor pressure than the solution. So by the addition of non-volatile solute into the solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution obtained gets reduced. So decrease in the vapor pressure of the solution takes place by the addition of solute into the solvent. So let P naught can be taken as the vapor pressure of pure solvent and P be the vapor pressure of solution. We know that P naught is greater than P. That means this is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. By the addition of solute into the solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution gets reduced. So here P naught is always greater than P. So the difference between P naught and P can be taken as the lowering of vapor pressure. So how can we define this lowering of vapor pressure? Lowering of vapor pressure can be defined as the difference between the vapor pressure of pure solvent and the vapor pressure of solution. So the difference between the vapor pressure of pure solvent and the vapor pressure of solution can be taken as the lowering of vapor pressure. So we are studying the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So we know the lowering of vapor pressure. Next we will go through the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So by comparing with the vapor pressure of pure solvent, so P naught is a vapor pressure of pure solvent. By comparing with the vapor pressure of pure solvent, how much vapor pressure has reduced by the addition of solute into the solvent. So this ratio can be taken as the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So P naught minus P can be taken as the lowering of vapor pressure. That means how much vapor pressure has reduced by the addition of solute into the solvent. So the difference between these two will give the lowering of vapor pressure. And the ratio of the lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent. The ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent can be taken as the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So how can we define relative lowering of vapor pressure? Relative lowering of vapor pressure is nothing but the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent is called relative lowering of vapor pressure. Next, we will study why this relative lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property. How can we say it is a colligative property? So for that, we need to study the Raoult's law. Raoult's law. So this Raoult's law in terms of vapor pressure that we need to study. So there were two different types of Raoult's laws. The first Raoult's law that we have studied for a binary solution of two volatile liquids. Now we are studying the Raoult's law in terms of vapor pressure. So according to Raoult's law, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of solute. So X is nothing but the mole fraction. X1 is nothing but the mole fraction of solvent and x2 is called the mole fraction of solute, because so the solvent is given the first preference and the solute is given the second preference. Why? Because solvent is taken in excess, hence we are going to give the first preference for the solvent and second preference for the solute. So x2 is called the mole fraction of solute. So relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute, that is according to Raoult's law in terms of vapor pressure. So we know that relative lowering of vapor pressure is represented as P naught minus P divided by P naught. So which is equal to x2. So x2 is called the mole fraction of solute. So this is according to Raoult's law. Now we will study why the relative lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property. So x2 is nothing but the mole fraction of solute, which can be calculated using the equation number of moles of solute in total number of x2 is equal to the mole fraction of solute, so which is equal to the ratio of the number of moles of solute to the total number of moles of solute and solvent. So N1 is the number of moles of solvent and N2 is the number of moles of solute, and N1 plus N2 can be taken as number of moles of solution or total number of moles of solution, and N2 is the ratio, the number of moles of the solute. So the ratio of these two can be taken as the mole fraction of solute. So mole fraction of solute can be taken as the ratio of N2 divided by N1 plus N2. So we will substitute this value in here, that is P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to the value of x2 is N2 divided by N1 plus N2. So for a very dilute solution, so if the dilute solution is very weak, that means very less amount of solute has dissolved in large quantity of solvent, then we are going to get a very dilute solution. So for that very dilute solution, number of moles of solute is very less compared to the number of moles of the solvent. That means N2 is negligibly small compared to this N1. So we can neglect N2 in the denominator. So what we are going to get? The above equation can be represented as P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to N2 divided by N1. That means the relative lowering of vapor pressure depends upon the number of moles of solute. So N2 is the number of moles of solute. This ratio can be taken as the relative lowering of vapor pressure. It is depending upon the number of moles of solute. We can say that relative lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property. So we will proceed this one. How can we calculate the value of this N2? So N2 is nothing but the number of moles of solute. So number of moles of solute can be calculated by using the equation mass of solute divided by molecular mass of solute. So mass of solute divided by molecular mass of solute gives the value of N2. So that is equal to W2 divided by M2. So mass of solute is represented by the symbol W2. So the second preference is given to the solute, and the molecular mass of the solute is represented as M2. Similarly, N1 can be calculated using the equation. N1 is the number of moles of the solvent, which is nothing but the ratio of mass of solvent to the molecular mass of solvent. So which is equal to W1 divided by M1. So we will substitute the values of N1 and N2 in the above equation, that is P naught minus P divided by P naught is equal to N2 is W2 by M2, whereas N1 is W1 by M1. So on rearrangement, W2 M1 divided by W1 M2. So this ratio can be taken as relative lowering of vapor pressure. So by using this equation, we can calculate the molar mass of solute by using the relation which is obtained by the rearrangement of these two left and right hand sides, that is W2 M1 divided by W1 into P naught minus P divided by P naught. So this P naught minus P divided by P naught can be taken as relative lowering of vapor pressure. So if we know the value of relative lowering of vapor pressure along with the weight of solute and the molecular mass of the solvent and the weight of solvent, we can calculate the molar mass or molecular mass of the solute. So this is very important equation, so which is used in the solving of problems. In that problem, so we can find out the molar mass of solute by using this equation in terms of the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now we will solve one of the problem based on the relative lowering of vapor pressure. That is, we will calculate the molar mass of non-volatile solute in terms of relative lowering of vapor pressure by using the equation. So let us study what is given in the problem as a data. The vapor pressure of pure benzene at certain temperature is. So vapor pressure of pure benzene means this is the solvent. The vapor pressure of solvent is given, so which is found to be 0.850. So P naught be the vapor pressure of pure solvent. So benzene is the solvent which is in the pure form. That is the value of the vapor pressure of pure solvent is given, which is found to be 0.850 bar. Bar is nothing but the unit of pressure or the vapor pressure. A non-volatile non-electrolyte solid weighing, that means 0.5 is nothing but the weight of the non-volatile solute. So the value of W2 is nothing but the weight of solute, so which is given as 0.5 gram. So when added to 39.0 gram of benzene, so benzene mass is given, that is 39.0 is the mass of benzene, that is weight W1 can be taken as 39.0 gram, and whose molar mass is also given, that is molecular mass. The M1 value, M1 is the molecular mass of the solvent or the molar mass of solvent, which is given as 78 gram per mole, and the vapor pressure of the solution obtained then is, that means by the addition of solute into the solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution gets reduced. So the after the reduction of the vapor pressure, the value present is found to be P, which is nothing but 0.845 bar. 0.845 bar. Then what we need to calculate? So what is the molar mass of the solid substance? That means we have to find out the value of M2. So M2 is equal to how much? So in terms of P naught and P, the problem is given. That means P naught is nothing but the vapor pressure of pure solvent and P is the vapor pressure of the solution. We can use the equation in terms of relative lowering of vapor pressure to calculate the molar mass of solute. That is M2 is equal to W2 M1 divided by W1 into P naught minus P divided by P naught. So first we will determine the ratio of P naught minus P divided by P naught. So what is the value of P naught minus P divided by P naught, which is nothing but the relative lowering of vapor pressure is obtained. So P naught is 0.850 minus P is 0.845 divided by the value of P naught is found to be 0.850. So the difference between these two is found to be 0.005 divided by 0.850. So the ratio of these two is found to be 0.005 divided by 0.850. First again we will do So 0.005 divided by 0.850. How much? 0.00588. So this is nothing but the ratio of relative lowering of vapor pressure, but is nothing but the P naught minus P divided by P naught value. So we will substitute this value in the above equation. M2 is equal to, so what is the value of W2 given, which is found to be 0.5, and M1 is also given, that is 78 gram per mole, 78 divided by, so W1 is found to be 39.0 into, so what we calculated, P naught minus P divided by P naught, which is found to be 0.00588. So what is the value of M2 obtained? So we will again do the calculation. 0.5 into 78 divided by 39.0 again divided by 0.00588. So what is the value obtained? 170.068. So this is nothing but the calculation of the molar mass of solute in terms of relative lowering of vapor pressure. So in the same way, we can also do some of the problems based on the relative lowering of vapor pressure equation to calculate the molar mass of solute.